Let's take a look at another way that we could potentially use some of these open sourced LLMs, and that's by using the pre-fine-tuned instruction following version of the LLM. In this situation, we're going to assume that we actually don't have any pre-made examples. If we do have pre-made examples, then we could follow a very similar path to what we did in the few-shot learning example with just the foundation model. Depending on how the instruction model is constructed, depending on how it was trained, using the foundation model or the instruction following model with few-shot examples might give similar results, or the instruction model might be better or worse depending on how it was trained. In this example, though, we want to go through the scenario where you actually don't have any pre-made examples to work with. In that situation, we'll actually need to utilize zero-shot learning, where we just describe the task and then give the article for the model to summarize. So here, we just have the news API, we have our instruction following LLM that's been released by the open source community, and we want to create our app. So let's think about some of the other pros and cons. Because we are assuming that we have no data available, we might need to pay more attention to how we construct the prompt so that it's very specific and well thought out for the model to follow. Performance, depending on the dataset that was used to train the fine-tuned model from the base model, it might actually already be excellent at solving this problem, even with a zero-shot approach. And for cost, likewise, because we're using a open-sourced LLM that's already been trained, we only pay for the computation at inference. We're not doing any training ourselves. However, if the fine-tuning of this model meant that it actually doesn't really know how to do this kind of task, then that might degrade the performance that we have, and this might not be a viable option for us. Likewise, for the size effect, depending on how the model was trained, we might need to use the largest version, if there is one, of the fine-tuned model for this particular application. The way that we'd implement something like this would be a very smaller prompt, much smaller prompt than the one from the few-shot learning, where we just describe the task that we needed to solve, and then we give it the article as the input variable and ask it to produce the output. Depending on how well it is trained, as I said, we might get different results. We may get fortunate that this is already ready to go for us, and so we wouldn't need to do any further options. However, it's possible that this might not work best for us, so maybe we need to look at another option.